All right. And a three, and a two, and a one. So there's a video went around the other day. Jaylen Brown on some podcast. Oh, the Gillian Wallow, Wally,
Gillian Wallow,
Gillian
$1 million
Wallow.
worth of game.
Correct.
Yeah,
Podcast. And he's just like he's talking about the people in his mentions complaining about their gambling and their parlays, and which let me just
right.
say off the rip is wildly inappropriate. You're a grown man, you bet.
Facts.
Leave stop signing up for fake Instagram accounts just to bitch at athletes. But he looks into the camera and he's like, any of you parlay motherfuckers run up on me and I'm gonna fuck you up. And I just want to know why. Why would you do that? Why? Why? Like, I don't even disagree with the sentiment. I don't. If someone
Right.
were to actually run up on him when he was out at Burger King or something, he would be well within
Yeah.
his rights to defend himself and accost that person. But like
First of all, no
why?
fan is running up on an NBA player over gambling. Like, if he
There's
meant
that.
first of all, I guess we should define what he means by run up on. If he means like run up and like do something, then sure, defend yourself. If he's talking about they just run up and say like, "Damn, bro, you fucked up my parlay because you should have got two more assists."
Yeah.
Come on, bro.
He just wanted to curse out fans.
He did. He did.
NBA players barely hide their disdain for fandom, for fans, and I think it's unbecoming. And they're terrible business partners. Adam Silver is not without faults, but he has the worst business partners in the world. Like they don't. Kevin Durant is arguing with customers on Twitter. Like they don't. It's like
Every
they don't
day.
think fans are customers. Like name another business where you would just be arguing with the customers all day, or where all of your employees are just bitching about customers, arguing about customers. I just don't. What these new dudes, man? Like, why would you go? Why are you on this podcast? Don't you have a game to prepare for? And second of all, why are you complaining about customers in public? Every job we complain about customers.
It is
You don't
like
do it
I'm
in
sure that
public.
yeah, yeah. Like I mean, I've done it at work with customers there, but that's back when I was young and stuff. But I mean, I
It was
get it.
poor
But I'm
form, and
sure
you
there's
understood it was poor form.
yes,
They don't seem to
yes,
understand that it's
yeah.
poor
Like I'm
form.
right. Like I'm sure they have group chats, various group chats throughout the league where they can just be like, "Yo, I'm sick of these people, tired about the gambling stuff, whatever." Also, it's like not that serious. I mean,
Yeah,
it's fun. It's funny. Like gambling does. I don't know how healthy it is, but it does fuel the league.
yeah.
It does get fans
They get a
interested. You
cut
know
of
what
the
I'm
revenue
saying?
for it.
Correct. And also, if it's a, I mean, people are gonna watch Boston Celtics play because they're one of the biggest teams
Yeah,
one of the best teams in the league, and they may win a championship this year. But do you want to see them play against the Hornets? Probably not. But if you
no.
put money down on Jaylen Brown to get 20 points, Jason Tatum to get 10 boards, and Porzingis to get 5 rebounds, you're going to tune in to watch that game to see how your parlay goes, right?
Correct.
So why
It's
would you
just
not welcome the fandom of what you do for a living?
I think what a lot of NBA players don't understand is that you don't actually make a lot of money because you're good at basketball. You make
Right.
a lot of money because people like watching you play basketball. Those are
Correct.
two. Those are.
They
It's
conflate the
subtle,
argument.
but they are. There is a difference, and this idea
Right.
that it's just basketball, and like
Hmm.
just because you're good at basketball, you make a lot of money. That's false. Because I promise you, someone is world class at lacrosse who doesn't make 30-40 million dollars a year is because no one
No,
gives a
not at
fuck if
all.
you're world class at lacrosse. Like it's because it's a television product and people like watching you play. It does
Yes.
your skill level at it is immaterial. Like it's
Correct.
because customers like to watch you play. And
Yeah.
that can change because at one point boxing was the biggest sport in the world. At one point horse racing
And
was the biggest sport in the world. At
now
one
it's
point
pay-per-view.
baseball. It's just
Yep.
I don't know any other business where they can just like people just where you would just prominent people are just out here just telling fans to fuck off. And I don't even disagree with the sentiment. You just don't say it out
Right.
loud. It's a
Yeah.
common refrain in most jobs. Like the worst part of every job is the customers. Of course.
Yes.
But you don't that you need them. Like it's just
Every time. Yeah.
it's like sometimes you like a player will get traded or like
Yeah.
a player will hop on a podcast and he'll like complain about being traded and he says like, "Well, how would you
Hmm.
feel if all of a sudden you had to move your family and your kids had to pick new schools?" And I don't disagree with that. But
Yeah.
like there's a certain like nobody wants to hear the rich guy complain, and some stuff is for the group
Right.
chat. It's like you don't. I don't doubt that that is very frustrating, but like
Correct.
that's a conversation amongst your peers and your friends. You don't have that conversation in public. It just like I don't head down to the homeless shelter and be like, you know what I hate? Well done steak. Like this is, it's just like
Right.
you have to know your audience. Like you don't, it's just
This AC really makes me cold at night.
yeah. Like man, I got on these dusty ass shoes today. Like I'm wearing from the beater pile. Like the shoes are barely even dust. Yeah, anyways,
Right.
all right.
That's very true. I think
Just have to know your audience. You have to know your
yeah, you really
audience.
gotta know your audience. Like we talked about it last week with the Anthony Mackie thing, where he's
Yeah,
talking about the difference in pay between
yeah.
actors in the previous generation versus now.
And he
And
said he only makes
fact,
$7 million.
right, like factually, that is correct, and factually, he is underpaid.
Yeah,
I do obviously I'm a big advocate of the arts, and
yeah,
I'm big on like labor and pro labor and all that stuff. But like for example, Viola Davis talked about the same thing. She just
yeah,
worded it way better.
yeah,
She was like, talking about the pay disparity in black actors and white
yeah,
actors, and it's fucking like infinitesimal, like the amount they
yeah,
get paid compared to their white counterparts. And she was saying, they call me the Black Meryl Streep, and it's like, if you view me as the Black Meryl Streep, pay me what you pay Meryl Streep.
yeah,
And that's something that fans can connect with, where it's not like, oh, I'm rich, but give me more millions of
yeah.
dollars. You know what I'm saying? Like it's all about how you present stuff too.
Even in that, like, okay, I understand why
Well,
that would
true.
frustrate you, Viola Davis. I don't
Right,
understand
right,
why this
right.
is my problem.
Correct. Well, I think
I
she was asked a question, so
okay, well, that's fair. That's fair.
but
But it's
yeah,
like when you move, whoever got traded, you hire movers. You're flying
yeah,
private. You're staying up at the Four Seasons until you get your situated. Like
correct.
it's just not. You just know your audience. Don't complain. There
Yeah,
are conversations. There are situations that I would like to complain about that I know are champagne problems,
would come
and I
across
just don't.
obnoxious.
Correct, correct. There are plenty of things that complain about that I just don't like.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna hop on Instagram and complain that the sizing of my Fear of God shirts didn't come the way I like it, and that the tailor is. It's not. It's poor form.
No, I get you. That's very true. And also to me, it's like, bro, you just signed like what, a year ago, 2 years ago, one of the biggest deals in NBA history. You need to relax.
These
And I'm
niggas
not
don't want to
when
try at the All Star game. They don't want to.
right.
It's like I was
And
like
and
one
I
year.
and I hate and I hate and I'm never like the guy that's like, shut up, rich guy, because like you're human or whatever.
I
But
am.
bro,
I'm that
like
guy. Shut
I
up.
know, but it's also like but it's
So
also
who?
like with Jaylen Brown specifically, it's like I think he turns fans off just because the way he you can tell he's very conscious of how he wants to be perceived.
Yeah.
Like he wants to be perceived as like a strong, serious guy. He wants to be perceived as like the smartest guy in the room.
You're a fucking
And
basketball player.
not even that, like he'll like post like he teaches courses or whatever
Yeah,
or
no, he
attends courses,
doesn't.
something like that. Right. At
No, he
Harvard
doesn't.
or
No, the
not
fuck
Harvard,
he doesn't.
MIT. Correct. I don't believe that either, but
What?
that's a
What?
story for another
When
day.
when
But
did he
like they'll be
leave
like
college in like the tenth grade, the sophomore year?
sophomore year, I believe.
What
So yeah.
qualification does he have to teach a college course on anything?
Right.
You need at least a graduate degree to teach a college course. Most of them
Yeah,
have PhDs. Like,
I don't know. And the thing is, like, he reminds me of, remember when Kyrie was in that phase where he was like,
yeah,
you could tell he just wanted to be viewed as a genius. That's kind of what Jaylen Brown reminds me of with some of the things he says and does. Like, I think his heart's in the right place. He does a lot for the culture and the community, so I do want to give him credit for that. But his he can be very tone deaf in the way he deals with the media in certain aspects, for sure.
I think he's just stupid.
That's entirely possible.
I really just I'm deeply unimpressed. He's a great basketball player though. And when he's talking about basketball, I'm with it. But I just anyways, I'm gonna leave it alone. I did have another point, but I completely lost my train of thought on it. But so what are you watching
Oh,
these
good.
days, man?
So right now I'm watching Daredevil Born Again.
Okay.
So it's basically it started out as a Netflix show. It got canceled like 7 years ago. They brought it back with Disney Plus, but it's rated R, so it's like no holds barred, like super, uh, you know, street level gory type shit. It's a really really dope show. I'm also right now rewatching How I Met Your Mother on
Okay.
Netflix. Just it's a comfort show, something good to do. Um, I recently just finished this animated. It's based on a graphic novel. This
Yeah.
show called Invincible. It was on Prime.
Sounds vaguely
That show
familiar.
was that show was insane. One of the best season finales I think I've ever seen. Um, and I'm about to start White Lotus. I heard that show is really good. and I like to start shows kind of in the middle. That way I can binge watch enough and catch up. So yeah, I'm looking forward to watching that. What about you?
Fair enough. One, you watch entirely too much TV. Two, it was like seven shows.
Well, I
Right
finished
now,
one. I'm rewatching the others. Just 20 minutes to calm,
right now, I am one watching. My comfort show right now is House MD reruns on Prime.
Okay.
It's serial network drama that episodic that ran for shit 8 9 years in
Yeah, I watched
the
House. Yeah.
yeah like 2010s I
Hugh
think
Laurie
maybe.
is amazing.
Yeah, and I didn't even know he had a British accent until like years after the show ended. But
Yeah, most people didn't. Yeah.
I like it because, it's a case of the week type show. Pop
Yep.
it in, the beats of the episodes are the same. Oh, we think it's
Hmm.
this. Oh, it's not this. There's a
Is
usually a B
that
plot that has to do with the staff.
right?
And
He cusses
yes,
someone out.
it's nice, man. It takes very little intellectual vigor to follow
Right.
along. So I like to do that.
Yeah.
Uh, and currently I am reading Yuval Nari's book on communications, which is I'm only about 100 pages in, but it's pretty good. It's just he
Mhm.
does these little like historical recap books.
Okay.
And this is basically he's going through, how our methods of communications have evolved as a species as we've evolved. So, and how
Okay.
that's
Sounds
pertinent
interesting.
to our place atop of the animal kingdom. So,
Okay.
watching that, watched the Final Four this weekend, Saturday with you, Monday last night. I watched the
That
second half of the
that choke
game.
job was crazy.
I don't even understand how
That happens.
that's. I don't. Yeah, I don't even understand how that happens. I just, as a regular watcher of the NBA, college basketball is a bit of a challenge for me to follow along
Same.
with because
Yes.
you don't understand like you don't realize when you watch NBA games that guys just don't miss layups, and then you watch
Right,
college games and a layup is an adventure, man.
bro. So you missed the first half. So the first half, like obviously there's nerves. It's the biggest game of your life. And for a lot of these guys, it's the last time they'll ever touch a court again. But like they like the first 10 minutes of the like 6 minutes of the first half, I've never seen so many missed jumpers in my life. Like you know, Ron, remember game 5 of the WNBA finals last year
Yeah,
where Stewie
Sabrina
and Sabrina Ionescu
Ionesco
just
just missed
were
everything.
the whole both sides looked like that like for the first 6 minutes of the game.
Yeah, I mean, I watched the tournament because it's something to watch, but no, I
Right.
mean that was literally the first time I turned on a college basketball game this year was the first day of the tournament. So, um, and on a little Twitter hiatus. It's
Yeah, you
weird.
told me that.
It's funny, man, because I've been off of it a little over a week now, and I pop in on the like I took the app off my phone, but like I could still
Right.
like go to the website, and that
Yeah.
is enough friction to make me go a lot less because the app
Hmm.
is just way more functional than the website.
Then having to open
Uh,
up your laptop and
Correct. And it just like I still pop in, it keeps me abreast of the news and things like that. So I'm not totally off the grid, but I can literally feel my attention span returning. Like I just
yeah.
like I had so much brain rot. And it's just like not even a week later, I'm just able to like focus on things longer. Like it's hard to
Hmm.
explain,
Yeah.
but and that's only a week off. So I don't know. I don't miss it. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. I'm thinking about doing that, at least for Twitter. I gotta stay on Instagram and stuff for like promoting the pod and shit like that. But
Well, see, my
yeah.
Instagram is much more of an enclosed circle. It's just me talking to like people that I know in real life.
Right, right.
And Twitter just gets to be. I never had TikTok, but I imagine it's more of that too. But like Twitter is just I'm a whole world's information is flooding at me at one time, and it's
Yeah.
like an algorithm that keeps uploading and uploading. But like Instagram and
Hmm.
Snapchat is just me checking on my friends. It's a little different. So
Right. Yeah.
so I kept those and got rid of the Twitter one, and it's just it's hard at first, and then like you just I don't know, like my attention span is returning. Like I can focus
Yeah.
on a like there's an hour-long article in the New York Times about this it wasn't an hour, I think it was half an hour long article in the
Hmm.
New York Times about this homeless like it's this permanent housing for homeless people.
Hmm.
Um And I just read it in 30 straight minutes without stopping. And it was just like, I didn't
Yeah.
feel that long. And it's like, I used to do that all the time. And like like a month ago that was really hard to do. And
Yeah.
now I'm able it's just my attention span is returning. One interesting thing in the article was just like the problem with even like it's working in the sense that like it's stabilizing people,
Yeah.
the homeless shelter, and like they charge them rent, but they don't care if you miss rent. So it's like whatever. But
Right.
like one of the things that sociologists say is the problem with like building these, with just like building one building and putting all of the troubled and homeless people in the building is that you're
Hmm.
clustering dysfunction. Whereas
Right.
if you put took 100 people who had some sort of issues and you put one in each regular people building, and for lack of a better
Yeah.
word, I don't know what the appropriate terms are. You would they would their dysfunction would not cluster, and then they wouldn't have any dysfunctional people to bounce off of. And
Got you.
so
Yeah.
just like when smart people get together, there's more innovation. When crazy people get
Hmm.
together, it gets crazier. It's a compound effect.
Right,
And
right,
so
right.
there's like while this works and it's a good idea, it's
Yeah.
actually it can become problematic because if you have a problem with drugs and you're homeless because of that, and we put you in this building with other people who have a problem with drugs who are homeless because of that, it's just not 100%, but it's making it less likely that you will be successful. And that's before we get into the mental
Mm.
health issue. So I never even thought about that. Like I was all, I generally speaking, I'm a proponent of some sort of subsidized housing for people who cannot afford their own housing, but you do
Yeah.
sort of cluster dysfunction in that way. Uh,
Got you.
so a little interesting tidbit.